Good golly, Miss Molly, sure like to ball. Good golly, Miss Molly, you sure like to ball. When you're rocking and you're rolling, you can hear your mama call. From the early, early morning to the early, early night, you can see Miss Molly rocking at the house of blue light. Good golly, Miss Molly, sure like to ball. When you're rocking and you're rolling, can't hear your mama call. Today we're talking about a strategy commonly known as the three-point molly. What that entails is playing your pass line, and once a point is established, playing odds, and then making a comeback. And once that comeback has moved up into a box number, you're going to make one more comeback, and that'll essentially give you 3 points for your game. You're going to want to play odds on your comebacks as well. You don't have to, but oftentimes people play this strategy because they're able to maximize their opportunity to play odds, which gives the house the lowest edge possible. Now this can get expensive. Even at a $5 minimum table, if you have points of 6 and 8 and then a 5 or a 9, once you put 3, 4, and 5 times odds, you're at $85 for one hand, which means to get through 11 shooters, your bankroll is going to have to be close to $1,000. You can also do this without playing odds, and then you're only risking $15 a hand, and you can get away with a bankroll less than $200. For today, we're planning on playing 3, 2, and 1 times odds. So if we hit a 6 or an 8, we'll play 3 times odds. A 5 or a 9, we'll play 2 times odds. And a 4 and a 10, we'll play single odds. So we're going to be playing with a bankroll of $600 today. That's all well and good, but how do we do it? Let's get into that right now. So like I said, the three-point molly uses a pass line bet and a come bet. If those bets are unfamiliar with you, click the link to the playlist for how to play craps and learning how to bet right now so that you can learn about the pass line and the come bets. Then come right back here to learn about the three-point molly. Okay, so like I said, the three-point molly starts off with the pass line and the puck's going to be off. The shooter's going to establish a point, and let's say for highest budget sake, they roll a 6. We're going to, in our scenario, place 3 times in odds behind our pass line bet. We're then going to right away make a comeback. Let's say again, for highest financial risk sake, the shooter hits an 8. Our comeback's going to move up to the 8. We're playing 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3 odds. So we're going to put our 3 times odds on the 8. And we're going to come out with one more comeback. And let's say the shooter rolls a 5 or a 9. Let's just say a 5 for today. We move our comeback up to the 5, well the dealer would. And we're going to play 2 times odds at our 5. So now we've got a total of $20 for the pass line plus $20 on the 8 is $40 plus 15 on the 5. We're risking $55. Multiply that by 11, round up a little bit, that's where we get our $600. Now let's say the shooter hits any one of these numbers. We'll start with saying maybe they hit the 8. Alright, so the dealer's going to bring these down. We're going to get paid 1-to-1 for just our regular comeback, and then we're going to get paid true odds, which for the 8 is going to be 6-to-5 for the 8. And then in this case, we would rack it all up. We can take all of this with us, but we're going to go ahead and leave $5 because now we only have 2 points working and we need to establish a third point. So let's say the shooter rolls their point. They roll a 6. Well, the comeback's going to move up to the 6. The shooter hit their point, so the puck's going to come off, but we are still going to get paid on our pass line, of course, including our true odds. So that's the basics of how the come bet works. Essentially, you always want to have 3 points working for you. Now, you're not going to make a come bet here because the point's off. So in this case, you would actually just make a pass line bet, let the shooter establish 1 more point, and then from there, make your odds bets for your pass line. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the roll. Alright, so let's get into it right away. We've got our first shooter. We're going to be playing the pass line. Doesn't matter if we're rolling or not, but we do want the pass line for a shooter coming out, and they're going to establish a point of a 6. Puck of the day today for the strategy video is from the Pettit National Ice Center. It's where a lot of the Olympians do their speed skating training. They've also got some hockey rinks there. So our points in 8, we're going to bet $3 in odds. We're going to get a new come bet going. And we're going to establish our own little point of the 4. We're going to play 2 times odds for that. No, I'm sorry, we're playing single odds for that. And if you do something like that, you, like I said in the video where I teach you how to do the come bet and odds bets, you can kind of take down and move around your odds if you want to. But the come bet is a contract bet once it's in a box. So I made a mistake and did 2 times odds. I caught it right away, and even if there would have been a roll, I forgot my come bet too. I'm talking too much. Let's pretend I did that. We've got a good dealer that recognizes my strategy, and they'd move us up. But you can change your odds bets. All right, and we're doing 3 times odds for the 6. Oh man, chips running all over the place. There we go. All right, let's get it together. We've got 1, 2, and 3 points established for us. Now we're going to roll it out and see what happens. And 2 doesn't mean anything for us. 3 also doesn't mean anything for us. Let's count up to the 4. No, 7 out. All right. So we're going to lose our pass line bet. We're going to lose all of this right away. And we've got a new shooter. Let's get our pass line bet out there. And shooter's going to establish a point of a 6. So we're going to play 3 times odds. Going to get our $15 back behind our pass line bet. We're going to remember our come bet this time. And we're rolling. And 2. So we're going to lose on the come bet because it's just like a pass line bet when the puck is off. So we lose. We'll get a new come bet out. And a 4, hard 4. So our come bet's going to move up to the 4. We're playing single odds. And before I forget, 1 more come bet. And a 7. Okay, so we're going to lose our pass line and our odds. We're going to lose our come bet that's in the box. But because our come bet is kind of like a pass line bet when the puck is off, we do get paid there. So a little bit of a saving grace, a little bit of protection there. Alright, new shooter coming out. Come on, shooter. And 3. 3 craps. Gonna lose our pass line bet. We'll come right back out. And an 8. We're getting these high probability points. 3 times odds going behind the pass line, and a new come bet coming out. And a 5. So our come bet's gonna move up to the 5. For this one, we're gonna play 2 times odds and get our 3rd come bet out there. And a 4. Really liking those 4s today. We'll do single odds again on the 4. We've got our 3 points established. Let's roll it out. And a 6. Right in the middle, shooting the targets that we're not looking for. And there's the 7. Really like to see this pan out for you guys. Get this to work for you. Point comes off. But again, like I always say, the strategies are all based on the dice. You could have the best strategy in the world, and if the dice don't cooperate, it doesn't mean anything. Shooter's going to establish a point of a 9. We're going to get our 2 times odds. Yeah, the dice make all the difference, and all we're looking for is 1 hot roll. 1 hot roll can make up for a lot of bad rolls. Okay, that's going to be a 5. Our come-bet's going to move up to the 5. We're playing 2 times odds. And back in the come-bet. And Yo-Levened, it's a natural winner for the come-bet. We're going to take that. And finally, we're racking some money up. And 10, hard 10. Come-bet's going to move up to the 10. And that's our winnings. We don't want to touch that. We're going to place single odds on the 10. We've got our 3 points established. Let's roll it on out. And a 5. Beautiful. We hit our 5. So the dealer's going to bring this down. You're going to get paid 1-to-1 for your original come-bet. And then you're going to get paid true odds, which on the case of the 5 is 3-2. And we can profit all that. You can rack all that up, but of course now we're down to 2 points, so we need a new come-bet. And 7. So we're going to lose our pass line bet. We're going to lose our come-bet there, but we do get paid for our come-bet there. We can take these down. And we're back on the pass line for a new shooter. Well, let's pretend this is us shooting and we've got a hot hand, right? Look at that. Our dice are on Yo. Let's go. And 10. We establish 10 as the point. We're going to place single odds behind the line. Get a new come-bet out. And 12. So we're going to lose our come-bet. That's all right. We'll get right back out there with the new come-bet right away. And 7. Now we lose our pass line bet, but we get paid right away with our come-bet. So we're only out a couple bucks on that one. Not the end of the world, but maybe our shooting isn't as hot as we thought it was. All right, $5 back on the pass line. New shooter coming out. I'd like to see a couple of points, get this developed for you guys so you can see how it works. All right, point's gonna be a 10. I'm gonna place single odds behind the line, get a new come-bet out. And an 8. So our come-bet moves up to the 8. We're going to play 3 times in odds on there. And get on the come-bet. And I don't have a dealer. I am my own dealer, but you wouldn't move your bets yourself. You wouldn't place your own odds bets. You'd lay the money on the table, your checks on the table, and tell the dealer to give you odds for your bet. 3 craps, we lose our come-bet. And we'll get right back out there. And a 9. All right, we got all the high numbers in the box. We're gonna play 2 times odds. Come on, let's see some numbers, shooter. 4 doesn't help us one way or the other. And an 8. All right, beautiful. So we're gonna get paid single odds for the come-bet, and on an 8 we get paid 6-5. So we're gonna rack all this up. We're gonna keep $5 out. We're gonna get right back on that come-bet, establish a 3rd point. And an 8. We're right back up on that 8. Okay, so we got our 3 times in odds. And 7 out. So we're gonna lose all this. This all gets racked up. Get our, well, let's put all this away. Get our pass line bet out. And a new shooter coming out. I'd like to see a couple of numbers get strung together. There we go. 7 winner, front line winner. Because this does have the potential with the hot roll to really get going. Now we come right back and lose it. Get right back on the pass line. Another crap number. 3 crap dice 3. And 7 winner, front line winner. We're just sort of going back and forth here. And a 10. All right, shooter establishes the point of the 10, which for us means single odds behind the line. We're gonna get our come-bet out right away. And a 10, shooter hits their point right away. So this is still gonna move up to the 10. We're gonna get paid 1-to-1 on our pass line, and for a 10, we get paid 2-to-1. So we're going to collect all that. We're going to leave our pass line bet out though, because we want to be on the pass line for the shooter. This is working, and we're not even going to worry about our odds because I'm going to leave my odds off for the come out roll anyways. And 12. So we're going to lose that. Let's get back on the pass line. And 7. So we lose our 10, but we do get paid on the pass line, so that's essentially a push. Now we don't need to get back out on the comeback because the puck is off. We're still playing the pass line. And an 8. So shooter's going to establish an 8. We'll get our 3 times an odds out there. And get a new comeback going. And a 10. Shooter's going to establish a point of a 10. Our comeback's going to move up to the 10. We're going to play 1 times odds. And we'll get one more comeback out. And 12 craps. Gonna lose our comeback. Get a new one out there. And a 4. So we're gonna go single odds on the 4. We've got our 3 points. And 3 crap dice doesn't affect us anymore. But a 4 does. We win on the 4. So dealer's gonna bring that down. It's going to pay us 1-1 for our comeback and 2-1 for our odds on our comeback. We can pocket all this, but we're going to go ahead and leave $5 out for a new comeback to try and get our 3rd point back. And our 3rd point's going to be a 6, so we're going to play 3 times odds. And it's up to you, by the way. I'm pulling my odds out of back here. Even though it's another shooter, you could pull it out of your winnings if you want. It's up to you where you want to pull it out. Ultimately, it comes out to be the same at the end of the day. 5 doesn't affect us, but a 7 does in all the wrong ways. 7 out. And there's the timer, which means we finished our game. We 7'd out. We're at 11 minutes. I'm not too optimistic about how this roll went, but let's count it up and see how we did. Okay, so that is the 3-point Molly playing, well, I keep saying 3-2-1, but 1, 2, and 3 times odds. Not the best roll in the world, and like I always say, the greatest strategy in the world can still be beat with a cold roll. Today, we ended up with $393 out of our $600 bankroll. So we were down a couple $100, could have just as easily been up a couple $100 with a hot roll. But again, greatest strategy in the world still relies completely on the dice. But I hope you learned about the 3-point Molly today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to see more strategy videos, make sure you're subscribed to see those and more videos on anything craps. Be sure to tip your dealers and always play within your means. Thanks for watching Yo-Levened Bread, and good luck everybody.